as far as me being a 5%er, you know, I didn't really like I didn't really like. I didn't decide like, oh, I'm gonna do this, right? It was kind of like, and I like to give the example where a lot of so-called African Americans, they grow up in a neighborhood where there's a lot of Hispanic people, and a lot of your friends might be Hispanic, and you hear them talk all the time. You know, you hear them say, "Oh yeah, mira," this or whatever, right? After a while, you can't help but to understand what they're saying. Mm-hmm. So this is what was happening with me, vice versa, mm-hmm. with the brothers that was 5% of God body. Mm-hmm. You know, my brother be like, now cipher, you know, and my brother be like, do the knowledge, God, knowledge, you know. Every little thing I was hearing, you know, if you out in the street, you cannot, you know, be coherent. You can't be like, you know, just unaware of your surroundings, you know. So if somebody was gonna pull a fast one, I would know what's going on because I was familiar with the language first before I was familiar with the lessons and what the teachings were. Mm. So when a brother said the black man's God, I didn't really know in what sense he meant that. You know what I'm saying?
It was just more like a slang.
He was talking about Jesus. Because, you know, at that time I've heard that Jesus was a black man. So it's like, is you talking about Jesus only? You know? Like, I didn't ever knew about just generally, you know what I mean? That the black man was God. So when he said that, it was like, to me, a little far-fetched at that time. But I was intrigued and I wanted to know more. Because it was presented, you know. So my thing was like, your brother said, ask me questions. You can ask any question. If I don't have an answer, I'll bring you somebody that will have an answer. So everything was subject to show and proving. It was never nothing that, oh, this is how it is and just believe it. Mm-hmm. Not, and you can go somewhere else. It was never like that. So I had a lot of questions.
So it was basically like a process of you growing into the knowledge, because it was basically osmosis. It was around you.
Yeah.
It was drawing it up.
So at a certain time, when I was secure enough to be like, you know, I'm gonna take the lessons into my hand and do that, that's where the problems start coming. Like I was saying, you know, not knowing how the proper way to let people down in the sense of like, I don't want to eat that type of food, or I don't live like that, I don't do that, I don't, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And it wasn't like a religious, you know what I'm saying, a practice, because, you know, you got some 5%ers, they blow trees, you know, some brothers be drinking, you know, but it was like, if you was off balance and you was looking like dude leaning on the street, you was not able to say you was part of this. Mm-hmm. You know, if you had a mind-altering substance, a controlled substance to be the sole controller of you, nah, cypher, you null and void. You cut yourself from the royal lineage. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that's how the gods treated you. Like, oh, you want to smoke weed? All right, let me ask you this. Mm-hmm. Let me ask you that. Oh, you want to? Oh, you know, you going to school? You not in school? So somebody was always on top of us. Mm-hmm. You couldn't be just young and be on the block. I'm the God, because somebody was gonna ask you, what time is it? Why are you not in school?
Right.
You know, and no disrespect to my own kin, you know, but my own males in my family, they was independent. You know, they was independent.
So independent mean that they
you know.
That's what you were saying, basically.
Like it was just like whenever I see you, whatever. They'll dap you, give you a little money here and there, but it wasn't like the information I was getting was you know, from different angles. You know what I'm saying? As far as older brothers that did time, that came back with scars on their face, it's like, yo, you don't want to be like me. Trust me, like this, you got a chance. I just did 10 joints. Like, you don't want to, you know, and dudes looking like Mike Tyson, and like, look. And forget about Scared Straight. You know, we had that individuals that will scare you straight. Like if you thought you was a gangster, if you wanted to be a gangster, they were like, you not that. And I'm gonna tell you what it is. And then you just be like, all right. But at the same time, allowing you to be yourself, you know what I mean, grow into your own manhood. You know, whether if you was in the military, it's not gonna allow you to do that. You got to stand in line.
If Mecca did this.